What's up, tribe? This is Justin, Elevate Credit. Today is day 268, how to start a credit repair business. So thank you guys for following. We're talking credit consulting, business funding, real estate investing, just taking that next step to achieve that next level. So today we're talking about how to start a quote unquote credit repair business, right? So what you have to realize is that a credit repair business is regulated by the CROA, Credit Repair Organizations Administration, right? And that's 15 USC 1679. And some of the items in there can be very restrictive as they pertain to credit repair businesses, right? So the first thing you have to determine when you start a credit repair business or a credit consulting business is what type of business are you going to be. If you're going to be a quote unquote credit repair business, you're going to have to adhere to those guidelines, meaning you can't take payments in advance, right? So the first item is to know your lane, like know which lane that you're in, right? Because the other option, the way that I built Elevate Credit, is to have a credit consulting business, a business consulting business, financial literacy consulting, right? So we teach other people how to repair their credit and get business funding. We don't actually do that work for them, right? We provide consulting services, right? And we offer DIY products. We also offer education and one-on-one mentorships. This is education, right? So know which lane you're in. And when it comes to having a credit consulting business, it's not regulated by the CROA. So we don't have to adhere to those strict guidelines, right? So the second thing is figure out your flow, right? If you've never had a business before, you're going to have to determine like a certain cadence to how you're going to get the work done, how you're going to get the results, right? Like, are you doing factual disputes? Are you using consumer law like we do? Do you have your deletion letters dialed in? How are you sending them out? How are you paying for them? Are you sending them out with other documents? Who are you sending them out to? The banks or the banks and the CRAs? Are you also including complaints to the FTC, CFPB, Better Business Bureau, Attorney General? Are you also notarizing documents, getting affidavits of truth? So there's lots of different ways to do it, right? So what I suggest is, figure out your cadence. Do like a handful of clients for free, friends and family, and get results and figure it out, right? The third topic is, create content. That's what I'm doing right now. I am creating content, right? Create mad content. So I have a tool, it's called Metricool, that I pay for, and it blasts out. I can schedule 4 to 5 social media posts per week on, my Facebook page, IG, LinkedIn, TikTok, like all of these social media channels, right? And I'm doing it like, I record a YouTube video every single day, and I blast out the social media, 4 to 5 times a week, promoting my YouTube channel, right? So that ties into the next topic is be consistent, right? You have to be consistent. You have to create a schedule and be strict to your schedule, and you have to be married to this thing and do it day in and day out and day in and day out, and you can't skip a beat, right? You got to be top of the mind awareness. That's where marketing and advertising comes into play, right? Because I imagine people see my posts on Facebook, some of my friends and or family, and they're out there talking to their network, and somebody's gonna say, hey, I need to get my credit fixed so I can buy a house. They're gonna go, oh, well, Justin does credit repair. How do they know this? Because I market, right? I'm consistent with, my marketing. And of course, the last thing we'll talk about is designing systems, right? Systems are super important because it makes the process more efficient. It saves you time, it saves you money, it saves your clients time, it saves them money, and the outcome is far better, right? So like figure out systems, automate stuff, right? Like sub out the work that's like the $10 to $15 an hour work, like sub it out to Like my guy Naeem in Pakistan takes care of all that stuff, right? You can get like good rates if you go on to Fiverr.com and get virtual assistants. So, create these systems so that your business is running on autopilot the majority of the time, right? Not saying you can be 100% hands off. That's just not the case. But the more you automate, the more efficient you can be, and the more time you'll have to dedicate to the higher figure items, right, that you should be focusing on as the entrepreneur. So that is how to start a credit repair business. Hit that like button, smash that subscribe button, leave a comment. Helps the algorithms. Check out the website, schedule a consultation, right? We also have DIY products, right? You can do it yourself, like deletion letters. You can buy those on the website and do it yourself. We walk you through that. There's also books and courses for the education piece. And if you're interested in a one-on-one mentorship, we can provide that as well. So last but not least, to my son, Josiah's son, you are blessed. You are anointed. Use credit responsibly. Build business. Invest in real estate to your success. Salud.